for the Honorable Judge Bumble Fuzzington IV. You may all be seated. The Superior Court of the State of Wisconsin, of the County of Allegheny, courtroom number 1 is now in session.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, we are gathered here today to hear case number 02B. The plaintiff unsatisfied has filed the case against the defendant. COUNTERBLOXISWEIRD on the grounds of intentionally running over 2 law enforcement officers and killing 1 law enforcement officer. This is a serious matter, and it is our duty to ensure a fair and just proceeding. We'll begin with the plaintiff's side. Plaintiff attorney unsatisfied and assistant plaintiff attorney present your opening statement followed by your witnesses. Following the plaintiff's presentation, we'll hear from the defense attorney, Long Schoolgirl 101, and the assistant defense attorney, Slay. You will then have the floor to present your opening statement and witnesses. After both sides present their cases and any witnesses, we will proceed to the closing arguments. Plaintiff's sides will present their closing arguments first, followed by the defense. Once the closing arguments has been made, we will take a 5-minute recess, during which time the jury will deliberate and discuss the verdict. Upon returning from the recess, I will announce the verdict as decided by the jury. Let us proceed with the plaintiff's side. Plaintiff attorney unsatisfied. You may begin.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today we are here to address a grievous and avoidable tragedy. On the afternoon of July 10th, 2024, 2 dedicated officers who were serving and protecting our community were brutally struck down by a vehicle driven by the defendant, Counter. This was not a mere accident, but a result of the defendant's gross negligence and reckless disregard for the safety of others. The evidence that will come up within this trial will show that the defendants, with their irresponsible and dangerous actions, chose to operate their vehicle in a manner that posed a significant threat to life. This reckless behavior culminated in the devastating incident where an officer's life was taken and another's life put at risk. However, luckily, he was only badly injured and treated at Fox Mountain Bank Medical Center. You will hear from eyewitnesses and review expert testimony that all point to one undeniable truth. The defendant's actions on July 10th were not only negligent, but criminally so. Their disregard for the rules of the road and the safety of others has left an officer critically injured and another dead. Their actions have caused harm to the families of the victims, along with the community profoundly affected. The defense may argue that the defendant did not intend to cause harm. However, intent is not required to establish criminal negligence. What matters is that the defendant's actions were reckless and showed a blatant disregard for human life and safety. The law holds individuals accountable for the foreseeable consequences of their actions. And it is evident that the tragic outcome of that afternoon was foreseeable and preventable. Later on in this trial, you will also see proof that this was not just an accident, but intentional. As we proceed, we ask that you carefully consider the evidence and the impact of the defendant's actions. It is our duty to seek justice for the officer who was killed and the other left critically injured, and to hold the defendant accountable for their dangerous, criminal, and negligent behavior. Thank you.
Thank you, plaintiff attorney. Defense attorney, Long Schoolgirl, you may come up.
Your Honor, members of the jury, we have gathered here for one simple reason: negligence. 11Carson was negligent the whole time on scene. Today, I will present evidence that shows that 11Carson failed to treat the deceased officer in a timely manner. We will also see that the officer following the accident got straight up following the accident and immediately cuffed my client. He even wrote out the ticket himself. How would an officer with these injuries he claims have possibly achieved all this in a timely manner and still receive medical treatment? According to credible sources, adrenaline wears off about an hour following an incident, most likely sooner with the life-threatening injuries he claims to have. We will also see evidence that my client told the officers twice to move out the way due to it being stuck. The officers refused to move, even with the training they received to never stand in front of a car, especially with a squirrely subject. If they simply followed their training, the situation would have never taken place. Thank you.
Thank you, defense attorney. Plaintiff attorney, you may come up with your witness.
We now call Carson to the stand, Your Honor. Wrong way, Carson. Over there.
All right. Please repeat after me. I swear that the evidence that I shall give shall be the truth,
I swear that the evidence that I should give shall and will be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
Only God.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Can you please state your name and rank for the record?
Name is Carson, rank investigator.
How long have you been serving in the police force?
I've been on the police force for around 2 months now.
How well did you know Pricey?
I've known Pricey since I've been on the job. He's very good at what he did and always gave us 110%.
What are some traits that Pricey possessed?
A trait Pricey had is always being there. He loved his job and always loved to help people, no matter if he was your enemy or not.
What were your duties on the afternoon of the incident?
My duties right before was patrolling.
Can you describe the events leading up to the incident on July 10th?
I walked up to talk to Pricey when he was there near to assist. Next second, I hear this Corvette revving its engine excessively. I tell him to stop revving or he was going to hit us. The vehicle was in drive. I didn't realize that because I was in front of the vehicle. He claimed that he was stuck.
What was your initial reaction when you saw the vehicle approaching?
I first noticed the vehicle was revving a lot.
Okay. Can you describe what happened when the defendant's vehicle struck you?
He got stuck. When he got stuck, it ran over my legs and partial bits of my ribs. With that, I didn't have enough time to move out of the way. He ended up hitting me and pinning my officer into the metal fence and killing him.
Have you required any medical treatment or rehabilitation as a result of the injury sustained?
I got medical treatment at Fox Medical Center and sent home after 3 days in the hospital. The doctor said I should be able to go back out on patrol in a couple of months.
Have you experienced any long-term effects from the trauma of being struck by the vehicle?
One of my traumas is hearing the engine rev super high and slam into me and squishing my officer and hearing his bones crack and seeing him take his very last breath of oxygen.
How come you were able to walk right after this happened?
In the heat of the moment, adrenaline kicked me, and the immediate reaction was to put the defendant in handcuffs before he caused any other harm.
Okay, that seems very reasonable. A suspect ran over two officers. I believe that your first action definitely should have been to apprehend the suspect to prevent future harm. Thank you.
Objection, leading question.
Go ahead.
The plaintiff just asked their suspect, or not the suspect, the witness, a leading question at the end.
It's fine. I'll drop it. It's fine. That's all, Your Honor.
All right.
Am I allowed to call another person to the stand, or is Parker crossing first?
Parker's next.
Okay.
The defense attorney can cross-examine if they wish to.
Stay up there.
Yeah, Carson.
Defense attorney, you may go ahead.
All right. So again, what's your name and rank within WSP?
Name is Carson, rank investigator.
And are you required to write incident reports in WSP?
Affirmative.
I did subpoena for your incident report. What was your reason for not writing an incident report?
The incident report was not written because I was too busy in the hospital dealing with cracked bones and my ribs being broken.
Okay. Did you write the ticket?
Yes, I wrote the ticket right on the way to the hospital.
Do you know about the rule that you're never supposed to stand in front of a car while on duty?
As I said, I thought the vehicle was in neutral, not me seeing the tires spinning.
You admitted earlier in the direct statement that you heard the vehicle revving, which would probably make you assume that it was on, right?
Yes, I knew that the vehicle was on, but I didn't know that the tires were spinning.
Okay, and what's the reason for the rule that you're not supposed to stand in front of a car?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for a conclusion.
Sustained.
The witness is a police officer and they know this rule considering their expertise in their job.
Respectfully, that's asking for an opinion rather than fact.
It's not asking for an opinion because they're told what the
Change
reason
it
the
up.
rule what the
Change
rules
the
were.
question.
Okay. Did my client say anything to you whilst he was in the car before the collision?
Nothing at all. He claimed that he was stuck.
He claimed he was stuck. Okay. And did you hear my client? You heard my client say he was stuck twice, right?
He only said it once.
Said it once. Okay. Was it Dr. Gray who treated you in the hospital after the incident?
Yeah.
Okay. And when did you go to the hospital?
I went to the hospital after putting the suspect in the cell.
Okay. And how did you get to the hospital?
I got to the hospital via county EMS.
By county EMS. Okay. And the doctor discovered critical damage to your body, right?
Yes.
Can you name some of the injuries he found?
Some of the
Objection, Your
injuries
Honor.
he's got.
Relevance.
Repeat
Uh,
that.
Relevance.
My
I already know the answer to this.
my rebuttal to that is the officer claimed he arrested my client, but he had injuries. So I'm trying to figure out how that was possible with injuries he claimed. And you yourself submitted his medical report
Yeah, but
for
they didn't write
use.
that themselves.
Does he know what injuries he got?
Carson.
Oh, counties include multiple fractures in both legs.
You got fractures in both your legs. Okay. And what was the treatment for your broken legs? Do you know?
Treatments were X-ray scans of both my legs.
It was X-ray scans, so no cast or anything.
Cast on my leg.
Okay. And do you know where the soft tissue damage I saw in your medical report was located?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance once again.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out, let everyone know how injured the officer was. He claims from the incident. Is the relevance?
Change it up.
Okay. Are you able to walk now?
Currently, I'm struggling to walk.
Okay. And you received emergency surgery, right?
No, as it was not needed.
Your Honor, may I enter some evidence that was inadmissible evidence now, please?
Yes.
I'd like to enter what the plaintiff wrote, or not, sorry, plaintiff defendant entered, which was the medical report.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my code lawyer screen share that for me right now.
Correction.
I'm waiting on perms currently. Jux, if you can issue those perms. Jux's Discord is currently broken. If you're able to issue them as well. Screen share perms.
Yeah, I can issue them. Hold on.
So far, thank you.
Who needs to screen share perms?
Slay. You're gonna be going to the medical document, Slay, and scrolling down to the second
said
page. Yes, and scrolling down to the second page.
Got it. 1 second. Let me pull that up that time. The medical report?
Yeah.
10, 4.
Can you go ahead and try now?
It still just has the gray out on it. I can't screen share still. 1 second. Let me
I
try
have given
rejoining.
you permissions. So.
Yeah, it's still grayed out for me.
It's even grayed out for me. Hold on.
Alright, that's perfectly fine then. Here.
It might be
Oh, that's because someone is already screen sharing, I think.
Oh, okay. I got you. It's fine. I'll DM it to
So you should be able to screen share it now.
Yeah, screen share it really quick.
medical report, correct?
Yep.
It's a buffer. Did it turn off?
It did.
Hold on. Let me try one more time.
All right, this one. Okay, so you can see the medical report, right, officer?
I would like to correct myself on that. My memory is very hazy. I now do remember going into surgery for emergency.
So you forgot you were having surgery and you just suddenly remembered. Okay, perfect.
Yes, as I said, my memory is very hazy after the accident.
Okay, and when were you released?
I was released yesterday, I believe.
Okay, so you had emergency surgery and you were released within, you said 3 days? Why were you released so soon after receiving emergency surgery?
The doctor said I was perfectly fine to leave.
All right, and back to the scene. How long did it take you to begin working on the deceased officer on the ground?
I didn't have enough time to work on the officer on the ground.
You
As
eventually
I
went over.
had-
Okay, go ahead.
As I did have EMS come help.
You had EMS come help, but isn't it your job to assist anyone who's injured on the scene once the scene is secure?
As the scene wasn't secure yet. So my main focus was to arrest the defendant.
Well, once you had the defendant cuffed, you could have. The scene was secure because the danger was already
As EMS
secured.
was already on scene.
EMS was not on scene. You went over and called them after. Can I submit more evidence? This is going to be. Let me find it. The third clip that I sent. Sorry, the 1, 2, 3, 4. Last video ever sent before Unsatisfied. Slay.
Got it. Is it the one done by the
Counter's
vendor?
already in the car. No.
Oh, it's counters.
Yeah.
Allow me 1 moment to get this up for you guys. Can everybody see that?
No. The last one in the black car.
Oh, okay. Oh, where he's in the actual trooper's vehicle.
Yes.
Got it. Let me pull that one up. Allow me a moment. Is it this one?
Yes.
So are you gonna arrest me or not? Or are we just gonna stand here let that officer die and sit here for 20
I mean,
minutes?
I'm already dead, fam. There's no EMT on that.
All right, so you saw that video, officer?
Yes,
You were up and standing completely fine following the collision, correct?
both of my legs were fractured.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and submit some more evidence. Sorry, Slay. This is going to be the
You're perfectly fine.
second screenshot I sent in the third screenshot I sent in the evidence place.
Can you, is it the ones with the words or the pictures of the fractures?
The one after, like, it's the one that says NHS on it.
1 second, let me find that. Oh, the NHS one. I see.
Yes.
Let me save that real quick so I can put it up here.
Okay. And I'm going to read this out loud for you. A broken leg will be severely painful and may be swollen and bruised. You usually will not be able to walk on it if it's severe, if it's a severe fracture, which is what you claim to have in the medical report. It's supposed to be fractures in both legs, so you definitely wouldn't be able to stand on those. According to this document, am I right, officer?
According to your document.
Okay. And my client told you to begin treating the other officer on scene, and that's when you went to go talk to him, right? Based on that clip we just watched?
Yeah, as that clip, you see me walk over to the officer.
Yeah, after my client told you to begin treating him. So it seems like your officer on the ground wasn't really your main priority, or you weren't really concerned about him. Okay, so your medical document also stated that you had a deep scalp laceration on your head, didn't it?
True.
Sorry?
Yes, that's true.
Okay. And that would definitely have blood running down your head, and you would notice you were injured, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Okay. And you arrested and took my client to jail, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you check on my client following the accident? Make sure he was okay physically?
Your client was physically okay to get out, walk to the vehicle, as he has nothing wrong with him physically.
I mean, so were you, according to the video, but you claim you had all the injuries. Isn't it your job to make sure someone's okay after following an accident?
As I did search him, he didn't say anything about him being hurt or anything.
But did you specifically ask him, sir?
No, I did not.
No further questions.
Thank you, defending attorney. Plaintiff attorney may come up for the conclusion argument.
Am I able to cross counter, please? I had that counter on the stand.
Or sorry, repeat.
I'd like counter
Native
on
can
the
do his
stand.
rebuttal.
Oh yeah, you can do a rebuttal.
Yeah, Carson, come down. Yes. Oh, actually, I'd not like to do my rebuttal. I'd rather skip to where I'd like to examine a counter. I believe you already know the facts of the case. I don't think it's necessary.
Well, do you, as a plaintiff, have any more witnesses you're bringing?
Yes, counter.
All right, Connor, let's go.
DOJ says, let me know if any of your permissions change. I just updated the channel.
May I begin, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Can you please state your name for the record?
COUNTERBLOXISWEIRD.
Can you describe what happened from your perspective when your vehicle struck and killed an officer and leaving another critically injured?
I was picking up my friend from the farmhouse at 6000s when I got stuck on the chicken coop. I told the officer I'm stuck, and he told me to leave immediately. So I was trying to get unstuck, and I happened to ram both of them.
Okay, so what made you choose to go and drive right to where the officers were in front of you instead of trying to go in reverse and get out of your situation?
Because the vehicle is rear wheel rear wheel drive, so the front tires were stuck elevated, so I could not move. Oh, wait,
It doesn't have anything. Okay. Had you consumed any alcohol or drugs prior to driving that afternoon?
I don't do drugs or alcohol, sir.
Okay. How come your immediate response when you had hit both of the officers was, oops? I don't know about you, but that does not show much, if any, remorse for your actions. Yes or no?
No.
Objection, hearsay.
Wait, what?
Oh, what's your
Okay,
objection?
I would
Okay.
actually.
Hearsay.
I don't see how
Plaintiff
that's.
has no evidence entered that my client said that following the
Actually,
accident.
disregard. I would like to go to evidence. Let me find it. Yep. But first, Exhibit 1, that video, please. So it
Alright,
should
do you
set
want
up.
me to play or do you want Pika to just play it? Since Pika's already screen sharing.
Pika can just play out.
Gotcha.
Do you want me to send it to you? Okay, I sent it to you. Yeah. Well, just check your DMs. I sent you that. Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Let's just wait for Counter to rejoin real quick. I need to rejoin. Okay. I count.
Counter, you can leave or rejoin.
Counter, you can rejoin.
Counter is rejoining, I think.
Invite him to speak.
Okay.
Counter, if you need a new link, it's under the same link. So
Pardon?
They just changed
Alright.
VC. Okay, we're good now. Can you please Pika play? Yeah, we were. I wasn't. Alright, so correct me if I'm wrong, but you definitely said oops. Let me restate that question because I know I probably should have should exhibit. How come your immediate response when you had hit both of the officers was quote unquote oops?
Hello, it's my mic working? Hello?
Yeah,
Okay. No comment on that.
no comment. Okay. I don't know about you, jury, but that doesn't show any remorse to me. Okay. Your Honor, may I move to exhibit 5?
Objection,
Evidence?
opinion.
Go ahead.
He didn't ask a question. He just stated an opinion. I'd like that omitted from the transcript.
Don't worry, I'm done. I would like to, Your Honor, can I go to exhibit 5, please?
Repeat.
Can I go to exhibit 5, please? It's the suspect's defense, subpoenaed
Alright.
phone messages. Pika, do you have it? It's exhibit 5. It's a screenshot. It's in evidence.
Andrew, he said AFK for a moment and has not come back from that.
Andrew, don't pick certified.
Andrew, I believe we can get Edgar or Elite in here if you need them. If you need for a jury.
I'd rather have 3.
Because they had DM me earlier because they were supposed to be jury.
Okay, it's Exhibit 5. It's the 5th message in that thread. It's a screenshot. Okay, let me send it to you then. Okay. There you go. Okay. Everyone can see that okay? Alright. In your subpoenaed phone messages, a text message reads, "Move, move, I'ma hit 'em." After you sent that final message, you did in fact hit them. Why should the jury believe that this was a simple accident after you said such things?
Wait, pardon,
Objection,
please.
compound question.
I only asked one question.
You asked it really long. Can you repeat the question?
Okay. I'll reread this all for you. In your phone, a text message reads, quote unquote, "Move, move, I'ma hit 'em," quote unquote. After you sent that final message, you did in fact hit them. Why should the jury believe that this was a simple accident after you said such things?
Objection calls for opinion.
Sustain, change it up.
Why were you on your phone as you were operating a motor vehicle, especially while trying to get, sorry, just answer that question. Do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah, wait, was that your question? I thought you said.
Yeah,
No, no,
sorry.
no.
Why were you on your phone as you were operating a motor vehicle?
Because I was panicking and I was trying to text my friend to move out of the way. After I screamed, "I'm stuck."
Okay, give me a second here. Alright, so I have a question for you. How come you told them to move out of the way in your direct messages in your messages app instead of saying it out loud to everyone else around? Did you oh, that's
As I stated before, I told the officer, I screamed out my window, "I'm stuck." You would assume the officer with the correct training would not stand in front of an operating vehicle.
okay, well, instead of, just reminding them once again, you instead just told your buddy to move out of the way so you wouldn't hit them and you just hit the other 2 officers who you were trying to hit on purpose, correct?
I told the officers many times, "I'm stuck." They had a good 20 seconds to move out of their way. They did not do that.
So, therefore, that means you can hit them, correct? Is
I
that what they're
didn't mean to
saying?
hit them. They stood in front of my
Objection,
face.
argumentative. Objection, argumentative.
Sustained.
Do you take any responsibility for the events that happened that afternoon?
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained.
Okay. Knowing what happened, if you could go back, what would you have done differently?
Objection calls for opinion.
Okay. That's all, Your Honor.
All right. Defense attorney, and you can come up.
Yeah. All right. Why are we here today?
Pardon, can you just say that? I'm just quiet.
Why Why are we here today?
For the event that happened yesterday.
Okay, and why were you at that house in the first place?
I was picking up my friend from that house after his Eliosin.
And what was the reason the troopers approached you?
I arrived on the scene to pick up my friend. One of the officers, Carson, got right in front of my vehicle telling me to leave.
Okay, and what did you tell the officers while you were in the car?
I told them I'm stuck and then stuck, indicating I
Okay,
was stuck.
indicating you were stuck. Okay, and after you hit the officers, you were observed in the video that was submitted that you backed back over them. Why did you do that?
I backed over them because I was scared of the officer's life that I had pinned against the fence.
Okay, and why were you getting out the car right after the accident? Why'd you get out the car?
To render medical aid for them.
Okay, and what was your main concern when you saw the officers on the ground?
Their well-being and their life.
Okay, and what did the arresting officer do right after being ran over?
He quickly got up and within 5 seconds said nope and quickly ran behind me and cuffed me.
How did that officer appear when he got up?
He seemed physically fine with his legs working and being able to run behind me.
After putting you in cuffs, what did he do?
He did not search me. He just brought me to my vehicle, to his vehicle, put me in, and read me my rights.
Did he render any medical aid to you?
No,
How long did it take the officer to administer aid to the other fallen officer?
took about 4 to 5 minutes.
Did he say his reasoning for what the delay was?
There was no reason behind that.
Okay, and based on your knowledge, what do officers do when they see an officer down?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for a conclusion. It seems like an opinion of a certain law enforcement, which I'm not aware of.
Sustained.
He is aware because he has experience in law enforcement.
Oh, that's news to me.
Can I continue with the question, Your Honor, or?
Yes.
Okay. Did the officer do this procedure after treating the other officer? Did he treat them?
Pardon, can you repeat that?
Did the officer follow what normally you do after you see a person down? Did he start treating the officer?
No.
Okay. And why did the officer begin to treat the other officer?
After I stated, are you going to go help the other officer?
All right. And Slay, I need you to share a clip. This is going to be evidence of that.
Do you just want to have Pikachu share? I can send him the clip.
Okay, it's the.
Here, I'll send him all the clips. You have all of them. I'll send you all the clips, and then she can
Actually, I already
describe them.
showed the clip. It was a clip where he asked them, but it's the one I just the last clip that you just showed. Here, show it again.
Let me get these sent over to him.
It's the third one, Slay. The third one before unsatisfied sends a message.
The video?
Yeah, the video. The one where he's in the cop car.
Got it. It's uploading the files to him currently. Not yet. Those are just the pictures.
Send.
It's at halfway. Do
Okay.
you just want me to screen share it? I can screen share it real
Yeah.
quick. Make it faster. The car clip, correct?
The one where he's in the car, in the cop car in the backseat.
Got you. 1 second. I have it. Yep. This one. This one?
Nope. The third one. Is
it
that
not
the
this
third one?
Here,
There's
I'll
two
share
where
it
he's in a
back over.
cop car. There's two.
Is it this one?
Yes, that one.
Alright.
So are you gonna arrest me or not? Or are we just gonna stand here, let that officer die, and sit here for 20
I mean,
minutes?
I'm already dead, fam. No, there's no EMT on that.
Okay. And what happened after he called the coroner and had that officer squared away?
He quickly, he went back to his vehicle, stood by the door, and continued to write his citation.
No, before that, he
Or what do you mean, like before going to the?
before you arrived at the station, did he drive you there? How did you get to the station?
Oh, pardon. He drove me to the station in his vehicle.
Okay. And what happened at the station?
He did all the following procedures and walked around the station normally.
Did he still appear well at the station?
He was still well, walking normally, walking fine.
Okay. And what is your mental state following this accident?
I'm traumatized from the events that happened.
Okay. And what do you hope happens after this trial?
I hope the officer can get retraining for the next time in the future this occurrence doesn't happen again.
No further questions.
Thank you, defense attorney. Plaintiff attorney may come up.
Is the defendant still needed?
No.
Or,
You may do your closing argument.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today we have examined the facts and heard the testimonies surrounding the tragic incident that took the life of Officer 2 Pricey. This was not merely an accident, but a preventable tragedy caused by the reckless and negligent actions of this defendant, Counter. I would now like to move to Exhibit 2, inadmissible evidence, a letter from the loving parents of 2 Pricey in order to show the character of 2 Pricey. I can just read it out if you don't want to screenshot.
Pika, do you want a screenshot?
I can just read it out. It's a letter of grievance.
Yeah, it's the letter of grievance. I can send you the doc. It's fine. I'll share it myself. I have it up already. If you want to stop screen sharing real quick. No, you're fine. If you just want to end your screen share real quick, I can share it. Well, yeah. Here we go.
From a loving parents of 2 Pricey 1. We are writing this letter with hearts heavy with grief and sorrow over the tragic loss of our beloved child, 2 Pricey 1, who was killed in the line of duty on the afternoon of July 10th. The events of that night have forever changed our lives, leaving a void that can never be filled. 2 Pricey was not just an officer but a loving son, a dedicated friend, and a person deeply committed in serving and protecting our community. From a young age, he exhibited a strong sense of duty and compassionate traits that ultimately led him into a career in law enforcement. His dream was to make a positive difference in the world, and he pursued this dream with unwavering determination and courage. We believe that justice must be served for the tragic and preventable loss of our child. It is our hope that through this legal process, those responsible for this tragedy will be held accountable, and that such instances will be prevented in the future. Our family will never be the same, but we are committed to honoring 2 Price's legacy by advocating for safety, justice, and respect for all who serve in law enforcement. Sincerely, B. Pricey and M. Pricey. Officer 2 Pricey was a dedicated public servant who gave their life in service to our community. It is our duty to ensure their sacrifice is not in vain and that justice is served. By finding the defendant guilty, you will be sending a powerful message that such reckless behavior will not be tolerated and that the safety of our community and its protectors is paramount. In closing, I ask you to consider the overwhelming evidence and the lasting impact of this tragedy. Hold the defendant accountable for the actions and deliver a verdict of guilty. Justice for Officer 2 Pricey, their family, and our community demands nothing less. Thank you.
Defense attorney, you may come up.
Members of the court, you have heard testimony from my client showing that he warned the officer several times before the accident occurred. You've also seen how the trooper who claims to have had major injuries was able to arrest my client, search him, and put him. Oh, he didn't search him. I'm sorry. Put him in the back of my. Put him in the back of his car and transport him to jail without issues. He again even wrote the ticket himself. You also see how this trooper's negligence may have directly led to the other trooper's demise due to his untimely medical treatment. I hope you lean on the correct side of this hearing. Thank you.
We will now take a 5-minute recess to allow the jury to deliberate and discuss the verdict. Please return to the courtroom properly after the recess. Take their seat. Is marked on the stage.
I am now.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, do we have a verdict?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, me and the jury has found that the defendant Counterblocks is weird, is not guilty, and would not be paying the $250 compensation required by the plaintiff due to the fact that Counter already served his time in federal jail, and the state already covered the officer's expenses in the hospital.
This concludes our proceedings for case number 2B. Thank you all for your time and attention.
Yes.
Case is dismissed.
Hey, get him! Get top of
They call me M. Ross, guys. They call me Mike Ross.